All right, guys, you're coming in with the thinking woman in envy. I wonder why. Why are they envious of you? What have you accomplished recently that people think that they should have a piece of that? Thinking woman is a very intense energy. This is a very knowledgeable energy. This is, a lot of times I will say this is my Libra card because of the dedication it takes to get to where she is. Being very patient, being very loyal, being very loving to the craft and or the people. High Priestess in reverse. Hidden agendas, usually. You know, a lot of times it will be not listening to your higher self, but I believe that this is hidden agendas because the thinking woman is listening to her higher self. This is where she gets all her knowledge. She's the researcher, she's the librarian, she's the teacher. You know, she's very stern in what she knows and what she believes, but she's very dependable. Wheel of Fortune. Interesting because that's new cycles. That's taking a risk. I'm very interested to see what this envy card represents. You know, because envy can be a lot of different things. This can be about your job, about a promotion. It can be about, you know, family dynamics. Your significant other can become envious. Or, you know, so there's an envious energy, a low-lying energy. And usually when people are envious, it's because they don't believe in themselves enough. You know, things aren't working out for them at this time, and they're kind of having a pity party a little bit, you know, and we all do at some point. And then this energy takes it one step further, and then they become envious of the people around them that have the nicer cars or the nicer houses, or they got the promotion and they didn't. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with that. All right, let's go ahead and get these obstacles out. All right, emotional loss, destiny, prosperity begins. Oh, geez, heartache and loss. You started and you end it. You know, this row is telling me that it seemed like a fated relationship or a fated situation. It started new and fresh. Victory and success. Intuition. Love begins. All right, so we have that. And suffering and silence. Well, you Libra, you're giving me my run for my money here because, you know, with the envy card, you know, I can see that victory and success is typically, you know, what they're after right now. But they have all these beautiful cards and then bam, suffering and silence. You're over here with emotional loss and heartache right around prosperity begins. So it's like something starts and something stops. And I feel that you think you should have seen it coming. Okay? That whatever it is that throws you off in the month of October, you feel like you think you should have seen this one coming with the thinking woman. You know, you're very smart. You're very intuitive. Why did this one fly underneath the radar? Why did this situation kind of crop up and not see it? They're using their, you know, the intuition on their side as well. You know, you both have intuition cards. You both have beginning cards, new beginnings. And then you have suffering and silence. But they have the victory card. And I think that they fell from grace as well. Okay, now we have the Four of Coins in reverse. No generosity, being greedy and selfish. Sun in reverse is lack of success, lack of faith. And here we have Three of Coins, teamwork. This can also be a triangle of sorts, you know, possibly at the workplace. You know, we have too many people on a team, too many people butting into someone else's business. Here we have Knight of Coins. And this is a slow-moving stability. This is rebuilding one step at a time. Temperance in reverse talks about lack of faith, similar to the Sun card. Ooh, here we go. Seven of Swords is someone's being shady. You know, I feel like that they're trying to do what they have to do in order to get that recognition and reward that they want. And like I said before, they don't believe in themselves. So they try to steal other people's limelights. And I think that that's what they're coming after you for. And you think that you should have saw this one coming. I think that it's a work situation, but it was someone close to you at work, someone that you trusted. This is very intense energy, guys, with the envy. It's like they threw you under the bus. You know, you could be the manager of the department, you know, and you know, because I feel like the thinking woman is someone that's very professional, that's very put together, you know, like a manager, like a teacher, somebody that's running the department, running the show, the go-to person. And this other person makes them look bad, okay? This is what I'm getting. Ace of Cups in reverse, and this is where there's a blocked emotion, especially when it's clarifying here on the Four of Coins, where that's selfishness and greed and self-protection. Pulling away from it. Now you have Three of Cups on top of the Three of Coins. So there's definitely a triangle situation going on right now, that it went from happy and stability to someone being shady out of the three. Yes, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, being very demanding. It also means, you know, being the wallflower. And sometimes when people are being the wallflower, they're being sneaky about something. They're not telling you what they're up to. You know, they're trying to manipulate the situation. And they're just quiet and they just take everything in. And then at some point, they let it out when it benefits them. Knight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this is where there's not a lot of teamwork on this energy. There's not a lot of balance with this energy. There's a lot of scattered, misdirected energy going in the wrong going the wrong ways. Yeah, oh my God, look, Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, wow. That's totally intense. This is like mental, like they can't get out of their own way right now. And when it comes to pass that y'all find out what this one was up to, they fall from grace. You know, they don't get that victory. They, you know, whatever it is they started, you know, and ends up hurting them in the end. They'll never admit it though, because they'll be suffering in silence, but it does hurt them in the end. You know, it hurt you on your side, don't get me wrong. They betrayed a trust, they betrayed a friendship, they betrayed a love, whatever it resonates with you. But you just shut them off. Sadness and isolation. Wow, yes. See, you have sadness 3 times. This is really intense for you. You know, you really feel like you lost like a best friend or a sister or a brother or somebody with this betrayal on their end. Yes, daydreams and decisions. They didn't think anything of it. You know what I mean? They're only dreaming about what they want for themselves. It's like this energy like has a narcissistic kind of vibe to me right now. They'll do anything and take any risk in order for them to be on top. You know, and it's sad because they do have potential. They can do this on their own. They don't need to use the underhanded tactics to get ahead. But they don't feel like they are good enough, and that's why they pull this envy crap. You know, when they hurt other people in doing what they're doing, and they you may hear an apology, but it won't be like a heartfelt one because they don't think they did anything wrong. That's the whole thing. Oh my gosh, Libra, look, trust. Holy moly, someone really betrays your trust. While your logical mind is dictating a supposedly clear direction, your soul's inner guidance is urging you to follow an alternative path. The logical path may be one that you consider safe and more familiar, but you could be missing out on a boundless opportunity and so much more. I believe that this also means trust with this relationship, but in the aspect where you have the High Priestess in reverse, trust the universe, trust the process, trust your journey, and always trust yourself because you're so much stronger than sometimes you think you are. And their spirit message is coming in as give back. Today is the day to cast aside normal routines and make your main purpose to serve. It is about giving back without any thoughts or expectation of getting anything in return. Didn't I just say that this energy is struggling with that right now? It's all about them. Reach out and touch other people's spirits. It's highly likely that someone really needs it today. And that's what it is, that they have to give of themselves, you know, and they have to, you know, grow. And right now they're so stuck on themselves that they're not giving to other people. And that's why the energy is not flowing to them for them to get their blessings like it's happening for other people around them, because other people are a little bit more balanced. They're a give and take. Bad things happen, they let it go. Good things happen, they are grateful. They're not having that flow right now. So it doesn't seem like they're getting ahead. But they're the only ones that are stopping them. I know it's weird to base it all on energy, but it truly is a lot to do with energy. If you're grateful and you're happy and you're helping other people, good things do come to you. When you're in a negative energy, bad things seem to happen a lot more often because of the energy shift. That's when you find, when you're cranky, that's when your car will break down, or that kind of thing. Let's go ahead and pull your angel messages. All right, 2 are popping up. We have Opal, and it reads, your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well, cared for by God and the angels. Their angel message is Desiree, and it reads, no conditions aren't favorable right now. Wait or look into another option and ask the angels to help guide and comfort you. So Desiree is talking about that they're in a wrong energy, that this is not favorable for their divine purpose in their soul journey. So they really have to look for different options. They can't keep going in this manner and expect things to change because they're on the wrong frequency right now. Okay, you have lust. Lust is passion for a lot of different things. It can be romantic, but it also can be, lust for life, lust for knowledge, lust for something that's very important to you, something that you see in your path. They're taking risks again. They have it twice, Wheel of Fortune and the actual risk card. So, yes, they're going to really burn themselves out before they get onto the path that they need to change their frequency and change their way of life in order to get better things to them. And when they betray you, you cut them off. There's definitely too many people talking about a situation or a person, and people get hurt and they do get backstabbed. I feel like it's at a workplace, but it could be a family situation, because you also have the 3 of Cups where there's a couple best friends or siblings or something.